Mark, it seemed like every time, kind of in that second, third quarter, when you guys got it to like an 8 to 10 point lead, they had an answer of some sort. What kind of maybe experience is this like for your guys to kind of recognize some of those points earlier in the game that can be pivotal in seemingly kind of normal possession by possession game?
Yeah, I thought we got a good hold on the game in the second quarter with stops and with good offense. And then I just thought, they did a great job, Charlotte did, of kind of not getting knocked out and keeping the game in striking distance. And then I was most disappointed in our defense, especially in the second half. Really from the first 5 minutes all the way through. They scored 80 points in the second half, and that's, we got to look in the mirror on that. Some of that's them. They played well. But most of that, at least from our purposes, is on us.
With 5:59 to go, I think you called your last timeout. Was there something, I don't know, a unique experience to see the youngest team in the NBA kind of have to go that next stretch with no timeouts and just go out there and kind of use what they've learned all season to go try to make a run? Yeah,
I thought the output in the last 6 minutes and the resilience was really good. The execution, especially defensively, could have been better. We could have slammed the door on some of those possessions, but not for lack of effort. I thought that was the best energy we had of the night. And it shows the power of that. We were down 13 and it got to like 5, in a hurry. But obviously we needed more of a 48-minute commitment to that tonight.
3 guys scoring over 30 points for you guys, and it seemed like each one of them was just playing with a lot of force and punch. Did that stand out to you in terms of their offensive production tonight? Yeah,
I thought all 3 of those guys, and really a lot of the guys offensively, we scored 134 points. So that clearly wasn't the issue tonight. It was the defensive end, and we have to be a team that can appreciate the amount of energy it takes on that end of the floor too. Obviously we had our moments tonight, but certainly didn't string together enough in order to earn the win.
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoma Mercury brought Poku back tonight. Butler played some minutes. Is that a sign that player development or whatever is still the priority over the play-in or playoff, or the play-in tournament or the playoffs, even this late in the season?
I don't think you have to choose. We think that development is the priority, to achieve short and long-term success. We've got a condensed schedule. We just got off the road. We play again tomorrow. We turn around. We travel again. We play Phoenix. We're down a couple guys. And so just trying to expand the roster, see if somebody can give us a jolt, give guys opportunities, allow them to develop and play. And we think that's the best short-term strategy as well. Maybe not in every, minute of the game, but certainly with where we are in the season and the context of the season. But I can't say enough how important that mentality is, in the long term as well. I mean, that's just going to be a constant for us regardless of what the circumstances are around.
You hadn't played Dario in 2 or 3 games. Got there late in the game, or fourth quarter, I guess. Were you just looking for something that might work defensively?
More just like trying to give guys an opportunity to give us a spark. Obviously the second half didn't unfold the way that we would have liked. And like I said, if you're in uniform, you're live, and trying to give everybody a chance to impact the game and put their fingerprints on the game and on the team, especially on a night where I didn't think, we had it, especially on the defensive end of the floor. And that's what I was doing with him, Butler. That's what I was doing with everybody.
The last question from me. How important would making the play-in be for the Thunder?
I think if it is a outcome that's downstream of our process and the way that we're trying to do things, it would be great, because it would just be kind of a marker along the way. But not so important that it's going to distract us from our way of doing things. We need to bet on that. Day over day over day. We've done that for 2 or 3 years. That's what's put us in a position to compete for the play-in. So for us to abandon that at this point would be hasty. And quite frankly, we need to double down on this mentality past this season. That's why we're doing what we're doing.
Jerry Ramsey, franchise. They punched you guys in the mouth in the fourth quarter. Came out 32-11, I think was the beginning of that.
Yep.
PJ Washington in particular has a career night tonight. How hard is it not to overreact in the conversation of slowing these guys down? What is the conversation, and just seeing a very unusual night where a guy gets his career high and they're just killing it with 30 points halfway through the fourth?
The conversation with the team?
Yeah.
Yeah, the conversation with the team is an ongoing dialogue throughout the course of the season. And, a theme in these games in particular, when the other team's got a lot of guys out, you got a lot of motivated players over there that are playing, they won 4 out of 5. The conversation is that you have to earn the game if you want it. And that's a good lesson for us tonight. I thought Portland was a good example. We had to go earn that game. It took everything we had to win that game the other night. And tonight was a night where we didn't earn it, enough. We could have won the game by 1, but we didn't earn the win, and that's the lesson we have to take away, and that's what the dialogue is throughout the game, even when things are going well. It's like if we're doing good things, it's like, good, we got to stack them, we got to earn it. We got to earn it possession by possession, and that wasn't just a reaction to the game. That's something we talk about all the time.
Throughout the season, you've mentioned how you wanted the guys to be in certain situations. Lose tonight, have another team coming in tomorrow night. The standings being as tight as they are, is this the type of situation that you want these guys to be in?
Yeah, great. It's a great situation. For us to be playing games that have weight at this point in the season is a great experience. It's a great context for our guys to grow in. The best development is development that's most relevant and in context. And if you want to go where we want to go, you're going to have to handle pressure situations. And this is a great example of that. Now we have to turn the page, learn the lesson certainly, but turn the page and get ready to do it again tomorrow night. And I'm excited to see how we respond.
Justin Martinez, the Oklahoman. Josh was a driving force for you guys all night, but specifically in the first quarter, 11-5, played every minute there. Just what did you see out of him in terms of setting the tone early on? Yeah,
I thought his aggression on offense tonight was really good. He was downhill for a lot of the night. I thought he had a really good, balance of that, and he also was off it early and getting his teammates involved. He got the ball turned side to side. He really chose his spots tonight. I was encouraged by how he played offensively for sure. He had a very good night.
You talked about Isaiah pregame, how he's been expanding his game just today. Obviously, shot the 3-ball really well, but also getting to the rim a lot. Just what do you see out of him in terms of doing a little bit of everything offensively?
Yeah, I think it's just more he's gotten good at, the skills that, build up to our system. One of them, he took a cut and gets fouled. Like I said, he's a great active spacer. He plays with great pace inside the action. He'll take cuts. He'll screen for his teammates. He does all the things that help glue our system together. And like I said before the game, his shooting has been great this year, but it can distract you from, how holistic of a player he is.
Andrew Schlecht of The Athletic. You guys have been in kind of a similar position to the Hornets the past couple years where you're kind of playing with a lot of guys down. How does that, prepare you to play these teams? Or can you, remind the guys, hey, remember what this was like playing against teams, when we're on the other side of this? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I would say we're still in that position. I think the source of the motivation for them, for the players on their team, are the same source of the motivation for our team, which is they're trying to establish themselves as young players in the NBA, and we are too. Now we're doing it in the context of, being in a playoff chase, but we still have individual players that are trying to establish themselves, and we have to have. And I think our guys understand this conceptually, but it's hard. It's hard to earn a game, but you have to have an empathy. A competitive empathy for your opponent and understand the mentality that they're coming into the game with. And I just thought, at times we had that tonight, and then at times we were distracted from it and just didn't play well enough, quite frankly, to go get a game tonight.
And you stuck with Jeremiah Robinson Earl as your big for most of
forever.
The season.
Yeah, it was a long stretch.
Just your thoughts on how he played and kind of what you're getting from him.
Well, first of all, I give him a lot of credit going back to the trip in the Laker game, because he came back from a long injury. He was out for a long time. When he came back, we threw him right back out there. He was not himself. He didn't play great. And he took a lot of DMPs. I went with other guys and kind of let him resettle. And I thought, he worked himself out of that in an impressive way. It's hard, for the same reason you're saying with the Hornets, when your career's on the line, you're a young player, he's a second-year player. He's trying to establish himself. He's taking DMPs. He's not performing the way he has in the past. That's a hard experience. And he put his head down. He plugged back into the team, put his work in, and stacked days. And then when he got an opportunity against the Clippers, he played really hard. And then when he got an opportunity against the Lakers, he played really well. And it's kind of got him reignited here. And I just thought the way he played tonight, he played really, really hard. He was really engaged in the game and was rolling with it for that reason.
Yeah, go ahead there.
Jack Parker, Inside the Thunder. There were several big missed free throws down the stretch. Do you get the sense that that weighs heavily on these guys, or especially in, like you said, these games of weight?
It always weighs more heavily on the person that's shooting it. It's like they'll take it hard, and I appreciate them for that. Like they're competitors and they're trying like hell to win. From everybody else's perspective, I think we can all agree that there was a lot that went into that game before those plays, and especially stuff that we could control. With free throws, the only thing you can control is the work you put in and that you go up there and you're present and you shoot your best shot. And I think those guys do that every time. There was plenty in the game that we could control before that could have changed the outcome.
They seem to keep kind of having an answer to hang around. Good learning opportunity for you all just in terms of being able to kind of put your foot down in those situations.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. I think, we got up 10. I think we got complacent. That they go back in the game. They made some shots. They made their runs. And I think, we got to understand the teams are playing against these next three. The teams are probably not in the playoff race. They're playing loose ball. They've got nothing to lose out there. So I think we have to buckle down and understand, what we're playing for and what the stakes are at this end of the season. And, it was tough. They made a lot of tough shots. And once they, blew the game out to 13, we had to use our last time out with, 7 minutes left. So put us in a tough spot. Credit to the guys. We got the game back tied. Gave ourselves every chance to win the game. We make a few shots, make some free throws down the stretch, get some stops. It's a completely different game, but needed to keep our foot down when we got up, 10 points.
And I actually wanted to ask you both about that, which you just mentioned. Josh, I'll start with you, Isaiah. You didn't have a timeout the last 6 minutes. Was this kind of an opportunity for you young guys to just, youngest team in the league, go out and show what you've learned over the course of the season and go out and just play ball?
Yeah, no, it definitely put us to the test. Playing without timeouts, we weren't going to have as many talks with Coach on during that stretch, so we really had to get our heads together. We all had to be on one page, which I think in that stretch we did a really good job of doing. Like Giddey said, we were able to tie the game back up, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough being down that much and trying to close out a game, giving the team 137 points.
But obviously, they got it going really well in that fourth quarter. What are some of the lessons defensively that you guys can take away when a guy like P.J. Washington really had it going like he did there in the fourth?
Yeah, I mean, he did get hot. I mean, it wasn't like we'll get him in wide open looks. I think for the most part his stuff was contested, but we just had to do a better job, I think. Especially that group that started the fourth and the next group that came in. We had to do a better job of, locking that down. And I think he got free a few times. He made some tough shots, but we just had to be making his catches a bit harder. When he went into pick and roll, not giving up, switches so easily. So they were trying to get matchups that they wanted, and sometimes we just switched it. I think we had to do a better job of finding these catches, making it tougher, not giving up on those screens too easily. And just understand when a guy's got it going like that, they're going to keep going back to the well. So, figuring that out quick and on the fly, and we didn't have timeouts after that. So it had to be the group on the floor that got that sorted. And, credit to him, he made some tough shots. But, that group that was on the floor, to finish that game had to do a better job of, recognizing that when a guy's hot, they're going to continue to go back to him. And they did down the stretch. And credit to him, he had a big night.
Justin Martinez of the Oklahoman. Josh talked about it a little bit, but Isaiah, just how difficult it is to play a team that has nothing to lose. They just beat the Mavericks twice. Now they got this one as well. Just how difficult is that?
Yeah, you got to understand the energy that they're coming into the game with. Everybody on the court feels like they have something to prove. So everybody's putting their best foot forward. And you can't, just because they're a team that may not that's not going to make the playoffs, you can't just think that they're going to lay down and give you the game. You got to go take it. You got to earn it, which we didn't do, especially in that stretch where they had all those points. But, young team, guys looking to prove themselves, so we just got to be prepared for punches like that, especially with these upcoming games that we have. We got the Pistons tomorrow, so it's going to be kind of the same scenario.
Both the guys had career nights tonight scoring. Both the guys missed pretty crucial free throws at the end. Will you talk about the highs and lows and trying to pack it all up and you got to be back on the floor, like you said, in less than 24 hours and get it done again?
Yeah, I mean, I think our team, we do a good job of not getting too high, not getting too low. We understand what's at stake, and we understand that we have a game tomorrow. So that's where our focus is, at this moment, is getting ready for that game tomorrow. So we're not going to weigh our heads on this one for too long. We're going to move on. We're going to learn from it, and we're going to get better.
Isaiah, in pregame, Mark talked about that with your lip laceration, you had like a tooth go through your lip. How are you feeling physically, and what's that like to play through?
Oh, I'm fine. I mean, as long as it's not hindering me from moving, I'm going to be out there with the guys. It wasn't nothing too crazy. I mean, I've had something like this happen before, so as long as they gave me the go to get back on the court, we're going to play through it.
Nick Gallo, Valley Sports. Jalen, would probably be some focus on the end of the game, but did you feel like that there were maybe some opportunities to kind of put the pedal down earlier in the game, second quarter, third quarter, and put this one away?
Yeah, a lot of the quarters, I don't remember the exact number, but I mean, we gave up 30 in a quarter twice. It's hard to win when you do that, obviously. Just a lot of kind of missed opportunities on defense. Like from my end, kind of just kind of wasn't a good night. Obviously, it's hard to win when you give up 137, so there were a lot of defensive things that were correctable. But I thought we played good offensively. I thought we got what we wanted, so defense kind of just killed us.
What kind of test was it the last 6 minutes? You're the youngest team in the league. You all didn't have a timeout left, and you guys kind of had to just use what you'd learned all season to get it done, or come back into the game.
Yeah, I thought we executed really well down the stretch, especially not having a timeout to kind of lean back on. I thought we managed to clock well. Even the last play that we kind of just talked about on the fly to kind of get my last look, I think we did a good job kind of playing without a timeout. That's hard to do, especially with around like 6-7 minutes left in the game, to not really be able to advance the ball or anything like that. So I thought we did a good job managing that. We got stops, kind of stuck with it. Like I said, we just gave up a lot of points.
Obviously, you were playing with a lot of aggression tonight, tried to throw down multiple dunks in that second quarter. Just how important was that for you in your game tonight?
I think it just set the tone early. Obviously, not having Shea out, I kind of wanted to hit the gas a little bit more, just kind of starting and not ease into it. And thought we all did a good job of that. I think just defensively, I think we need to apply that same kind of energy.
You had 3 shots that were goaltended, like you got the points because of the goaltending, and they had to review a 4th one. Was that just something that you saw, that you kind of went at something, that maybe saw something in film before, or it was just the feel of the game, you're just getting the ball up quicker than they could get to it?
I was just shooting layups for real. Kind of got by my guy. It's just kind of one of those things where you always want to get it kind of to the glass a little early. Also they were big too, so if you can kind of beat the big to the rim, and leave it in the ref's hands, that's just kind of what has to happen. And then obviously, when you're going against smaller guards, you can take your time a little bit more. So just try and beat them to the rim. If they get it, they get it. If they don't, it usually ends up being a goaltender and make the layup. So.
Intersect of the Athletic. You guys are down 3, shot clock's off. You push the pace and get to the rim. You almost get that goal 10 and 1. Was that like team philosophy, or is that just like something that you saw there in like the closing moments of the game?
I think there was around like 21 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were down, so just trying to get something quick so we have, even if I did miss or kind of what happened. Obviously, I missed the free throw, and we still had a lot of time left to kind of be able to play with, and we were able to almost get a couple steals within that flow of the game, so it left us a lot of time. So just trying to go quick, understand kind of time and score. And like I said, I thought we did a good job executing, especially down the stretch with no timeouts.
Isaiah and Josh both had career scoring nights, and yet with seconds trickling down and you all were down, they looked at you multiple times to score. How do you handle that pressure in just those situations?
No pressure, just kind of playing through runs. Obviously, I think when the team is looking at you to score, it just kind of fills me with a lot of confidence. And, I feel like we have a lot of scoring options out there. So I know if I'm, getting doubled or if somebody's open, I know I can throw the ball to my teammates to also make a play. And I thought we did a good job of even Josh getting to the free throw line at the end. I drove, didn't have anything, more than willing to, obviously get off of it and kind of let him make a play or get Zay open for shots. Zay hit some big ones down the stretch, so I think it's just more about making the right play than me having to score at the end.